Oh, hello world. My name is Stephen Walker, and welcome back or welcome to this channel. It is Walker in the Woods, and in this channel, I will be talking about a variety of things. But for this month of November and MOVEmber, I'm doing a water fast, and it is 10 a.m. on a Saturday here in South Korea. And I just finished watching online my old high school. It's backwards, but that says Andale. Andale football. Watched them play and win, and they are undefeated this season. And they've been state champs the last 4 out of 5 years. Why do I still watch high school football when I live in South Korea? A lot of the young men on these teams are are children of my old teammates. And last year, or the last 4 years, not this year, but the last 4 years, one of the players was a female. She was a kicker, and she has 4 state championship rings. Andale, Kansas. If you don't know about them, you should check them out. But anyways, let's get back to what I'm here for, primarily making sure I'm recording, and I will share my screen, and this will keep me focused. Okay, so this is the MOVEmber. I call it a MOVEmber. If that's right or not, I don't know. MOVEmber challenge. I am moving myself both externally, physically, I should say, and internally. And by that, I mean getting the water, getting the river inside your body running. And that means drinking a lot of water. So this is day 2 of my 10-day water fast. And I want to talk about a few observations so far, not too many, physically, mentally. Then I will talk about the BMI. What exactly is it? Talk a bit about ketosis. I presume many people now know what it is. I'm just going to give a real brief review today, and then we can delve into it deeper as I learn more, or as some of you may be able to tell me in comments. And then I have an InBody fit, which is this thing here that I showed yesterday. I stand on it, hold on to that, and it gives me a reading. It gives me a reading of 10 different things, and we'll take a look at the second day results. Observations, not too many, really. The stomach, obviously, no food for going on 2 days. Well, I started my fast. It would have been October 31st, about 4 p.m. And it's 10 now. So, we're into day 2 and well into day 2, actually. The stomach is fine, a little bit of gurgling, a little bit of digestion going on, but overall, no issues. Obviously, the first 3 days are when you're used to eating and you're not eating. So the mind, the tongue, the stomach, the gastric juices, they're all still ready and raring to go. But when it's not coming, then they have to start making some changes. And mentally, I'm very strong and resolute about this 10-day fast. Occasionally, thoughts fleet across the mind. Go sniff around in the refrigerator and see if there's anything. No, I can't do that. My wife is an excellent cook, an excellent baker. She has pastries. laying around the house that I generally stay away from. So she helps me with keeping mentally strong in that regard. But so far, day two, nothing too crazy to report. It's again 10 a.m. in the morning, and I have a full day to go, but I'm going to keep busy. And so that's about it for my observations. So the BMI on this InBody Fit, it reads my BMI. And so if someone is not familiar with BMI, I presume most of you are. It's acronym for Body Mass Index, which is a calculation that estimates a person's weight relative to their height. It's a quick and inexpensive way to screen for a healthy weight to height ratio. The BMI is calculated by dividing a person's weight in kilogram by the square of their height in meters. So we're using the metric system, and there is the calculation, how you would do it. And I just pulled this from the internet, didn't go too deep into the Google, but a healthy BMI for adults, I presume both women and men, is between 18.5 and 24.9. So from 18.5 to almost 25. And this can help identify if someone is underweight, healthy weight, overweight, obese. That would be me. And or severely obese. And that is what I don't want to be. So thus the water fast. However, BMI is not a direct measure of body fat, and it does not take into account factors like muscle mass, bone density, or sex. Men and women wear fat and muscle differently. Some people have obviously bigger bone bodies, denser bone, and then muscle mass. Muscle does weigh more than fat. So if you have more muscle, I guess by the BMI, it would technically say that you could be overweight or obese when you don't really have a lot of fat on your body. So for these reasons, BMI is not a suitable measure for everyone, especially children as they're growing, pregnant women as they are growing a second human inside of them and putting on fat and water and, oh, I don't know, I'm not a woman, but I presume a lot of different things are going on there. And then obviously athletes. Some athletes can be technically labeled as obese. The BMI was created in the 19th century, so over 100 some odd years ago, as a surveying tool. And but I find this a little bit interesting. It's become a common way to assess weight, health in the early 2000s. So relatively recently, this kind of came back on the scene. So I wonder why, um, if it's not a direct measure, I guess it's just something that insurance companies might like to use for however they ascertain if someone is healthy or not healthy. And then the second thing I want to look at here is ketosis. So when you go on a fast, ketosis is an important thing to know about. And again, I presume a lot of you know about it already, but the basic definition is it's a metabolic state that occurs when your body burns fat for energy instead of glucose. Glucose is basically sugars. And I had a student yesterday that I was talking to this about, and I described it very simply in the sense that if she can imagine a refrigerator with a freezer on top, and what are you going to go for when you're hungry? Where can you eat quickly? And you go to the refrigerator, everything is available in that refrigerator to eat. You can't go to the freezer, it's all frozen and it's not easily accessible. So you open up that refrigerator, and that would be all of the carbs, the sugars, the glucose that the body can easily burn. And only until that refrigerator is empty does or will you go up to the freezer and start thawing out that frozen goodness. And that would be where the ketones are stored, I guess, in the fats in the body. So our body doesn't really touch the fat until we deplete the energy that the body's burning from all of the sugars and the carbs that we eat. And so, from what I understand, the burning of glucose for energy is a dirty form of energy, and when it gets into the ketones, it's a much cleaner energy. Glucose, you get the sugar spikes. Ketone, you get a pretty steady level of energy throughout the day. And to trigger ketosis, you have to be fasting for at least 12 hours, up to sometimes up to 18. And I am well beyond that now. So I presume that I am in ketosis. And my energy, I've been up since about 6 a.m. this morning, and I went to bed. I go to bed usually pretty early, 9, 10 o'clock. And I generally get up about 5. And I do not take naps. I have good energy throughout the day. But if I'm on glucose, if I'm drinking some booze, um, I don't eat bread, but occasionally rice will come in. You get those sugar spikes. But in ketosis, you don't. It's a pretty maintained level, relatively high form of energy that I experience. And so there are 7 signs that you are in ketosis. First is weight loss. I'll talk about that soon. Dry mouth and bad breath. I'll have to ask my wife about that one. You do get the white tongue that kind of shows that you're getting rid of toxins. Can't remember what that name is. The furry tongue. Dry mouth. That's true. I do have a bit of a dry mouth, and I've been drinking a lot of water. So here's to dry mouth. Fatigue or sleep changes. Last night I had a bit of fatigue, and the brain, my head. I don't generally get headaches, almost never. But my mind, my brain was feeling a bit not a headache, but just something was going on up there. It wasn't clear. It wasn't the clarity. Uh, I'm not really sure how to explain it. Just a bit of not even lethargy, a dull pain, something like, hey, where's my fix? Where's glucose? Give me something to work with. So that might be just the changing of the brain from feeding off the glucose into ketones. Short-term decreases in exercise performance. Well, I'm going to find that out today because I'm going to the gym. I'm going to rejoin the gym for the first time in about 6 months, and I'm feeling good. So far, I'll I know I have the energy to get in and get a good hour workout in today, which is a Saturday. I'll have to see if my level of performance has dropped. Number one, I'm sure it has, not having been there for 6 months. Number two, I haven't eaten for 2 days, well, a day and 3/4. So I'll let you know tomorrow, day 3. Muscle spasms and cramps. I do take, with my water, I do add some salt. And I think salt or electrolyte powder. I do have some electrolyte powder here as well. Um, it's flavored, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go with it or not for the fast. But basically, the body needs salts, so I add some of this, and In the carnivore community, Redmond's is seems to be the preferred salt. Ancient kosher sea salt. I think it's out of America. Yes, North America. So luckily, I don't really experience muscle spasms or cramps too often. So I guess my salt intake is high enough that that doesn't happen to me. Appetite suppression. Well, I am suppressing my appetite. Um, so on purpose, I'm doing this on purpose. So yes, appetite suppression is a deal. Is it a real deal? Change in bowel movements. This morning I had a very small one. Yesterday was normal. And then this morning, small, and I presume tomorrow will be even smaller, if anything. So by day three, there's really nothing else in for your body to digest. But you might be surprised. Sometimes a movement does come along, and it's like, where did that come from? So I presume that the liver and the digestive organs are searching out, pulling out, and pushing out what doesn't need to be there. So all are being experienced, more or less, without minus the spasms and cramps. So again, the InBody Fit is what I'm using. This is the app on my phone, and I step on this machine, I hold on to the handle, and it gives me a readout. And I will be updating it daily. And so yesterday was November 1st. Today is November 2nd. And if we look, well, I'll just go, this is called big data, big data. So we have 10 different things for big data minus the height. It gives you the weight, the BMI, your body mass index, skeletal muscle mass, soft lean mass, basal metabolic rate, percent body fat mass, visceral fat level, waist hip ratio, and fit score. And so 97.2. And so again, the date on this, I did this on the 2nd of November at 7:03 in the morning. And so my weight was 97.2 kilogram, and yesterday was 98.6. So I dropped 1.4, and I think that's 1.4. Let me just check. So kilogram to pound, one kilogram is 2.2 pounds, and I lost 1.4 kilogram. That's almost 3.1 pounds. Most of that is water weight, I'm sure. My BMI, now again, obviously my weight 97.2, and again, if you look at these bars, the middle part here is average, normal, and then this is above average, getting into the danger zone if you keep going farther right. But my BMI is above average, obviously, and however, I was 31.2, and now I'm 30.7. So that's going in the right direction. My skeletal muscle mass was 42.5, now 40.8, and I'm not sure if that's a good or bad. I guess it's bad because it says it's above average and it's red. Blue would be, well, I don't know. I don't think the colors really matter. I think it's just depending on what section we're looking at. But tomorrow we'll take a closer look at skeletal muscle mass. And then the following day we'll look at each of these a bit closer to see what exactly they mean. Because I haven't used this very much, honestly, just occasionally checking in on myself. Moving forward, soft lean mass was 70 and now it's 67.3. Basal metabolic rate has dropped by 62 kilocalorie, I guess, kilocalorie. And then into the fat levels of my body. Now, this is interesting to me because these seem to be going down and suddenly my fat is going up. So percent body fat was 24.9, now it's 26.8. And I haven't eaten anything in almost 48 hours. I don't know. Body fat mass was 24.5 and now it's 26. I went up 1.5 on that one. I don't know, maybe because I'm losing water that the machine is reading my fat easier. I'm not really sure. We'll look into it. Visceral fat, which again is the internal organs and from what I understand, kind of the dangerous fats that can surround and restrict your organs. That went up by one, and I don't like to see that one go up. And of course, the waist hip ratio was 1.02, and it went up by zero point zero 0.02 points. And my fit score went down. So it was 770, and it went down to 741. So I'm not sure what my machine is telling me at the moment. We'll figure it out as days progress, but there you go. That's just one day, one full day, and a little bit more of water fasting. And so I'm going to keep this short because it's a beautiful day here in South Korea, and I'm going to go hit the gym when the door opens. So upcoming content, tomorrow I will be updating again, day 3 of my water fast, and I will give you new observations on what I'm experiencing physically and mentally. And we will take a closer look at what skeletal muscle mass means and are my numbers going in the right direction or the wrong direction? So as always, I will be ending my videos with a quote, and this is by Benjamin Franklin, good old Ben. And he says, the best of all medicines is resting and fasting. The best of all medicines is resting and fasting and going hand in hand. And I agree to a point. I agree to a point, Benjamin. Today I'm going to go exercise. I feel ready and I feel I have the energy to do it. And so I'm going to do it. Yesterday, I actually didn't do any exercise, and I already said that I was going to exercise every day, but I didn't the day one. So there you go. You got to listen to your body. That's number one. If you feel like you have energy to move and exert yourself, you know yourself. So that's what you got to do. And if you just want to rest, you want to lay in bed all day, or get outside, get some fresh air, get grounded. I'm going to talk about grounding later as well when we're on a hike. So whatever you do, you do you. And until the next time, ciao for now.